Now we move on to India. In India, a high-intensity explosion has ripped through a slow-moving car at a traffic signal near New Delhi's Red Fort metro station, killing over 8 people and injuring at least 20 others. The blast took place in a Hyundai i20 car at 6:52 p.m. local time last night. A high alert has been issued in Delhi, capital city of India, and other major cities including Mumbai. The Delhi police has invoked Unlawful Activities Prevention Act sections after forensic evidence and intelligence inputs pointed to possible terror links, and now the blast is being probed as a terror attack. The blast came hours after Jammu and Kashmir police recovered nearly 3,000 kilograms of explosives from 2 residential buildings in Faridabad in Haryana and arrested Dr. Muzammil Shakir. According to reports and CCTV visuals, the person driving the explosive-laden car has been identified as Dr. Muhammad Omar. The car was allegedly purchased by Tariq, who is a resident of Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir. He has now been arrested from Sambura area of Pulwama, and the investigators are now probing his role in the chain of car ownership that eventually led the vehicle to Umar. Intelligence sources say that Umar has planned and executed the bombing along with 2 others, and the attack bears the signature of a Fidayeen-style suicide attack. Meanwhile, Indian Home Minister Amit Shah is going to hold a high-level security meeting in Delhi over the blast. Now for this discussion, we welcome retired Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar. He's joining us as a senior strategic and defense expert from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Dr. Major General Rajan Kochhar, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now, looking at this sad news that has just come in last night, Doctor, what was your reaction and what would you like to share with us on this topic?
Thank you, Asuma, for this very vital conversation from India. See, why are we concerned as a nation? We are concerned as a nation is because people are not allowing us to live in a state of peace. There have been numerous attempts to disrupt the peace in India. We have tried to make them understand through a congeniality, but congeniality is not working with them, especially Pakistan, I would like to name here. And most of these terror attacks, and this one in particular, we'll just discuss, uh, is slowly unraveling itself from a CNG blast into a terrorist attack. Because last evening, if you have listened to Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister's statement, he has so far said that it's an open case. We are looking at from both the angles. So, how the events are unfolding itself is, as you have also mentioned, that there has been a recovery of ammonium nitrate, almost 2,900 plus kgs. Also, bomb making material, 20 trunk loads of all these spares, equipments to make a crude rugged bomb. Now, what a number of people who are getting arrested, this is a change in strategy because we are finding people like doctors, chartered accountants, people like engineers are getting involved into these terrorist activities, and this is a change of trend. Secondly, so far, no terrorist organization has come and claimed that they have carried out this blast, especially when we look at Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba, have uh, who have taken no time. Whenever a blast takes place in India, they come and actually claim it. And the reason is because Pakistan fears that if any of the terrorist groups which are based in Pakistan uh, uh, claim this kind of a thing, so then the culpability of this thing will be on Pakistan, and Sindhu 2.0 is waiting for them. So I think an attempt has been made to show this as an internal problem of India, because the type of people whom they have involved in this thing, there is a strategy behind it. And also, I would like to state that it may have been orchestrated, or the masterminds maybe in Bangladesh as of now, because of two, three reasons I'm actually giving you here is that firstly is that in January 2025, the DGISI, along with a huge team of Pakistani officers, intelligence officers, visited Bangladesh. We have been hearing statements from General Munir that the next strike from India will be from Northeast. And it becomes easy for Pakistan to get away with it, because Pakistan can say that this is not from our soil, it is from Bangladesh. So the chances of any retaliatory strike by India on Pakistan diminishes. So from that point, I am actually making this argument. Now we look at the chain of events and why we believe it's a terrorist attack. So I will start with this. This vehicle, I-20 vehicle, was parked in the Red Fort parking lot for 2.5 hours prior to the blast. There was this Dr. Muhammad Omar, who was sitting in this vehicle at the Red Fort parking for 2.5 hours. Question is, why was he sitting there inside the vehicle? Second is, this vehicle starts from the Red Fort parking lot at 6:52 p.m. in the evening, and it reaches a particular point where the blast is initiated, which is near the red light on the metro gate number 1 of the Red Fort. So now a question comes, a CNG vehicle is being used with a definite aim, because whatever explosive material was kept in this vehicle, it was not of a very high intensity, it was not a crude bomb. The aim was for the CNG to get exploded. And because CNG has a shock effect up to 10 to 15 meters, and it can also cause casualties, and we have seen the casualties have not been too many, because normally a bomb blast, if it is there, you will find large casualties, so about 8 to 10. So that implies that it was a low intensity blast. CNG you activated one, so that no culpability tomorrow can be placed on this. And if you look at the connections of Dr. Muhammad Omar, who was inside this vehicle, who has been killed, and a sketch of his has been made public now. He has linkages up to Pulwama. He is the one, all these doctors, Dr. Muhammad Omar, Dr. Shakil, and others who have been arrested, they all are doctors from the same place, Pulwama. So one Tariq has been arrested, who is the owner of this vehicle from Pulwama. He has been arrested. So these people who have been arrested now, on investigation, we will get to hear more details about the complicity of this entire terrorist attack. And one last point of mine is that ammonium nitrate, if it has been used, certain forensic samples have been taken by the FSL team, which has actually visited the site yesterday, and a disclosure of that chemical which has been used in the attack has so far not been given. So we will await that, and I know for sure ammonium nitrate, if it is mixed with fuel, it can carry out a detonation, it can carry out a blast effect, it has a shock wave effect, and it can also contribute to the type of casualties what we are seeing out of high pressure and burning. So
Yes.
piecing out all this information, arrest of
Yes.
Dr. Shakil, the arrest of Tariq, and Dr. Mohammed Omar's credential. The sale of this vehicle, three or four times this vehicle has been sold in the last few months. So that also is a cause of suspicion. So all these things, if we piece out as a common or as a defense analyst, I tend to start believing
Yes.
in theory which is relating to a terrorist strike.
Right.
So let us await the final statement of the
Yes.
government, because I think that should be more important. Our opinions are not that important.
Yes.
It is the government's version of the events with facts, because the government will come out with a press conference maybe today or tomorrow, and
Yes.
full facts will be presented so as to convince each one of us that what has led to this
Yes.
unfortunate tragedy.
Yes. With that, I would like to thank the very timely and much needed insight that was shared by retired Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar. Thank you very much for joining and sharing that insight. Now we move on to South Korea. According to reports, former President South Korea Yoon Suk-yeol has appeared before a special counsel team to face questioning over his alleged interference in a military investigation into the 2023 death of a young Marine. Reports say that Yoon, who is currently jailed, was brought to the special counsel's office in a prison van and entered through underground parking, an exception made for his safety at the request of his lawyers. The former president faces charges of abusing his power and aiding a criminal's flight. Investigators suspect that Yoon ordered the presidential office and defense ministry to reverse findings in the military probe to relieve a maritime commander of responsibility for the death of Corporal Chai Soo-kyun. Yoon is also accused of helping former Defense Minister Lee Jong-sup evade accountability by appointing him as an ambassador to Australia in March of 2024. Now for this discussion, we welcome back Dr. Asta Chadha. She's a Witwatersrand University Associate Professor of International Relations. Thank you very much, Dr. Chadha, for staying with us. Now, looking at this, what more can you tell us about this, and to what extent could the prosecution of former president reshape South Korea's political culture now?
Yes, I mean, this is again just one of the series of domestic political scandals that seem to have gripped South Korea currently. And given the scenario that you explained, I mean, this is about the loss of life of Marine Corporal during a search and rescue operation of flood victims back in July 2023. And the in the internal military investigation, in the initial one, what was being said was that the division commander as well as other officers needed to be held responsible for negligence or negligent homicide because they ordered a mission in a very hazardous flooded area without proper safety equipment, and that led to the loss of life. Now this ex-president is being held responsible, or for trying to exert undue pressure to exclude the name of this alleged engagement of this division commander who allowed the mission in a hazardous area without proper safety equipment. So that's one, but that's not all. The ex-president is also being accused of ordering a retrieval of sensitive investigation records that he should not have been allowed to retrieve once the case had already been transferred to the police. And most importantly, he's also being accused of evading investigation. So trying to strike off names of this division commander, for instance, or as you mentioned, trying to act against the normal course of law to make sure that the then defense minister Lee Jong-sup, who also was, by the way, suspected in the same probe, and trying to help him evade that ongoing investigation by appointing him as an ambassador to another country. This is causing severe major political scandals in the country, and it kind of shows how farther can abuse of power go, especially in positions of power like the president of the country.
Yes, indeed. With that, I would like to thank Dr. Asta Chadha for joining us today and sharing that insight throughout our news. Thank you very much. Now we stay in the region. South Korea and Cambodia have agreed to join forces against online scams and transnational criminal networks during a meeting in Seoul. South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Hyun and Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet pledged closer cooperation to curb cyber fraud and related offenses. Both leaders emphasized the growing threat of online scams targeting South Korean nationals operating out of Cambodia. To strengthen enforcement, the national police chiefs of both nations launched a new joint task force on Monday. The task force will focus on investigating and dismantling scam networks as well as protecting victims of cybercrime. Officials say the partnership marks a new phase in bilateral relations, expanding beyond trade and diplomacy into law enforcement collaboration. Now we move on to Taiwan. Taiwan has issued a land warning and evacuated more than 3,000 people ahead of Typhoon Fangwong's arrival in the region. The typhoon is expected to bring heavy rain to the island's mountainous east coast. The typhoon is forecast to make landfall on Taiwan's southwestern coast near the major port city of Kaohsiung after moving through the Philippines as a stronger system that has already claimed 6 lives there. It is expected to cross the southern part of Taiwan and enter the Pacific Ocean along the coast of the sparsely populated eastern countries of Taitung and Hualien. Meanwhile, Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te has advised people to avoid the mountains, the coast, and other potentially dangerous areas.